Hello everyone, so I will be doing the Pokemon book tag. This was created by Samantha and I will leave her video in the description. I was so happy when I saw this tag. I am a huge Pokemon fan. I recently saw the movie and I absolutely loved it. I am one of the few who still play Pokemon Go. For those who do not know, each Pokemon has a type, like a fire type, grass type, fairy type, etc. And Samantha created questions that go along with each type of Pokemon. And for this she said you can do whatever you want really, but she said that for her and for what I'm doing, you pick a team of Pokemon, so it could be like a team of 3, team of, as high as you want. And you answered those questions that correspond with that Pokemon. Let's get started. The first Pokemon I picked was, of course, my all-time favorite Pokemon. I love this Pokemon so much. And that is Psyduck! Yeesh. I love my little Psyducks. This has always been my favorite since I was a kid. I didn't really watch Pokemon or play Pokemon or collect the cards or anything, but I knew Psyduck and just always been my favorite. And Psyduck is a water type, and the question that corresponds with water type is pick a flowing, easy to read book. And for that I picked The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This is a middle grade fantasy novel about Percy Jackson, who finds out he is the son of Poseidon and has to go to Camp Half-Blood, which is a summer camp for children of demigods. Since this is a middle grade series, it is very easy to read. I still enjoyed it, and I thought it was fitting for this type since Poseidon is the god of the sea. The next Pokemon I picked is obviously Pikachu. You can't do it without Pikachu. He's the face of Pokemon, and he is an electric type. And the question that goes with this is a book that kept you buzzing for a long time. And for this, I picked the Harry Potter series. This series got me to love reading. It sparked something in me and just gave me that need to read. I loved reading them. I kept waiting for the next book in the series, and it just made me want to read other types of books to find something that I love just as much as this book. I think it's going to stay with me forever. The next Pokemon I picked was Slowpoke. This is a fire type, but also a psychic type. And since I did water type already with Psyduck, I chose the psychic side, and the question for that is a book you saw coming, a predictable book. And for that I picked Will Never Be Apart by Emiko Jean. This is about Alice, who is committed to a mental hospital, and she is haunted by the death of her boyfriend who died in a fire that her sister started. She teams up with this other patient to seek revenge. I thought this book was very predictable throughout the whole book. It was just building and building and building to this big reveal, and since it is very predictable, I saw it coming from the beginning of the book. And so when it got to the big reveal, it was just so underwhelming. I didn't really like it because of that. The next Pokemon I picked is Cubone, and he is a ground type. And for this is to pick down-to-earth characters. And for this one I picked The March Sisters in Little Women by Louise May Alcott. So this book follows the March sisters as they live their lives in New England during the Civil War. This is one of my favorite classics, and the reason I picked this is because I just loved the sisters. It's rare for me to find a book that I love all the characters with, and I just think each character has their own unique perspective on the world, and I love how they interact with each other. They fight, they're sisters who doesn't fight with their sisters, and I just loved their dynamic, and that's why I picked this for down-to-earth characters. The next Pokemon I picked is Ninetales, and this one is a fire type, and for the fire type, you have to pick a fire hot romance. And this was hard for me because I do not like romance. Most of the time, romance in books ruin the book for me, so I don't really read straight up romances. But for this one, I picked Lisbeth and Mikkel from A Girl with a Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. They meet when they're both investigating the disappearance of a girl, and I just loved their dynamic together. Yes, they can be dysfunctional, but there was something about it that I just really liked, and I felt that they worked really well together despite all the craziness that happens with them. The last Pokemon I picked was Bulbasaur, and he is grass type, and for grass type you have to pick your favorite book in a series. And for that I picked Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. This is about Audrey Rose Wadsworth, who is working with her uncle in his forensic laboratory, and through this they end up working on the Jack the Ripper case. I just love this series, and this one has a special place in my heart because it brought me to this world. The second one is great. The third one I did not enjoy. It just kind of ruined the characters for me and brought in the trope of love triangle, and I just hate it so much. So it just kind of ruined the book for me. I still enjoyed the mystery part of the book, but it was mostly the love triangle that I hate. And so this one is my favorite book in the series, and it just introduces the characters that I love. So that's it for this video. I thought this was a really fun tag that combined two of my favorite things, Pokemon and books. So like and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Bye!